Hey, everybody, welcome into our big game roundtable as we get you set for Super Bowl 56 in Los Angeles between the Rams and the Cincinnati Bengals at SoFi Stadium. We got a great show ahead. Later, I'll be joined by Serena Morales of Bally Sports and the Athletics' Daniel Popper. Get you set for all the ins and outs of the game. But first, we have to start with Jim Hill and the talks Jerry O'Connell and Akbar Gbajabiamila.
This is going to be fun. You know, Akbar and Jerry, I can't think of two people to have more fun with talking about the Super Bowl than you two. Akbar, do you know that the person to your right is still the only thing he's really happy about this year is the quarterback for the Chargers? But other than that, they went home early.
Yeah, they did. In fact, they went home against, a team that I play for. In fact, I played for both teams, the Chargers and the Raiders. But it was a win and get in or a tie and get in. And they had that opportunity. But, of course, there were some coaching decision that obviously prevented that. I really wanted both teams to make it. I really do, because I think that the Chargers are high-powered. I do think they had the ability to go far in the playoffs if they were given that opportunity. They had everything it took to beat the Bengals in that game that the Raiders lost. So, but yeah, maybe next year.
I've known Akbar for years now, and I work with him every day. He has a beautiful family, beautiful wife, beautiful children.
Oh, where's this going, Jim?
I've seen
where's
him.
This going, Jim?
I've seen him be elated and so happy for things that his family and love that his family has brought him.
But
Mr. Hill, I have never seen Akbar so happy when the Raiders beat the Chargers in week 17, 18, whatever that extended week was, week 22. I have never seen Akbar. He was dancing. Akbar, he was actually levitating about this high off the ground when he came into work. He was this high off the ground.
No, I was, it's like being a parent, and you have two kids and you're going, whoa, look, you're never going to forget your first. And so for me, the Raiders, that was the first team that I played with in the NFL, but also it was the first team that I grew to love growing up here in Los Angeles. They were the Los Angeles Raiders when I grew up here. They used to give us book covers, and you remember the starter jackets that everyone used to wear and the hat. And so it was a cultural thing. Sure. And then, years later, I would end up as a Raider. So that's kind of like your first. And then I had the Chargers, right?
Akbar, show them what you're wearing under your sweatshirt.
Okay,
show them.
Yeah, I'll show everybody.
Yeah, representing the Chargers.
yeah.
See, it's still.
I represent Bolts-on too. Yeah, you know it.
All right, guys. What do you say? Let's instead of talking about those teams, let's talk about these two teams in the Super Bowl, because this is going to be one heck of a Super Bowl game. And how exciting is it for you two to having it right here in our own hometown?
Well, this is big. For me, again, I talked about growing up here in Los Angeles. I remember setting up for the Super Bowl in the 92 season in 1993 when Michael Jackson did the halftime show at Pasadena. To see it all these years later to end up back in L.A., it's such a big deal. I'd love to say that, I can remember now as an adult having a Super Bowl here in Los Angeles, and then to have the team, the Rams, the team of Los Angeles, because they're in the Super Bowl, so they're the team. I think it's a big deal. This is a city of stars and cars, and I think the Rams have shown that they are a star here in Los Angeles.
And Jerry, go ahead.
It's a huge deal for Los Angeles. It's a huge deal for Inglewood. It's a huge deal for
Stan Kroenke.
Well, it's also, but it's a huge deal for the NFL as well. To build such an incredible stadium, and if you haven't gone SoCal, you got to go. It's just an experience. It's so beautiful and majestic, but it's also so clean. I have never seen cleaner bathrooms in any stadium, and I've been to a lot. You could eat your food off the floor in the bathroom, and you can't say that about any other stadium. But it's a big deal for the league and for the Rams. Listen, you know me, Mr. Hill. I'm a Chargers fan. You and Beto Duran do a great job. So it is a little weird for me, but it's an exciting time for LA.
Yeah, but Akbar, the reality is the Rams are there, and they have everything going for them right now. They're playing in their own home field. Yep. They've had a successful season. But you know what, though? If it hadn't been for one play against the 49ers, they wouldn't be there, because the 49ers dropped an interception at the last part of the fourth quarter that could have eliminated the Rams.
Well, that's very right. And so I think the one thing that we've seen, and this has kind of been the Achilles heels of the Los Angeles Rams, is we've seen those interceptions that Matthew Stafford has thrown. And we know that when it comes down to the turnover, you know this well, obviously, too, having played ball, you know that when you lose the turnover game, the turnover battle, especially in the big game, that's very hard to overcome. And I think that's going to be the one thing that they're going to have to secure up. But they have all the pieces to make it work. They have Odell Beckham Jr., right? They have him. He came in mid-season, Cooper Kupp. These guys can make big plays. I think it's going to come down to Matthew Stafford having a heck of a game, not being under duress. I don't think that line for the Bengals are going to create that kind of pressure on the Rams to be able to force those types of things. I think the defense with Bosa for the 49ers, they had a guy that was an agitator that could force those bad throws. I don't see that happening with the Bengals. And so I think Matthew Stafford has an amazing game.
And Jared, what about your thoughts on the game?
You know what's funny? I'm just watching the postseason, and I do have to say, in my lifetime, this has been the most incredible NFL postseason ever.
Yeah.
The Bengals D seems to, in the second half, turn into the Bears of '85. I mean, it's like, I don't know what happens. I don't know what happens in the second half of games, but the Bengals D just steps up. They just do. And I think Rams.
They're just opportunistic. You know, 85 Bears, that's a little hyperbolic to me.
I'm telling you.
That's a little hyperbolic. I think they're just an opportunistic defense. I just don't think there are going to be any opportunities for the Bengals to capitalize on to be able to show that what you're calling. I can't believe you said 85 Bears. Like,
look,
seriously,
I'm saying I'm not saying numbers wise they're the same as the 85 Bears. I'm saying in the second half they play to an 85 Bears level. Akbar, wow, how crazy would it be if it was a Jim Hill segment here that actually broke us up?
Are you literally saying that you think that the Bengals have an opportunity to win this game?
I want to apologize to all of Los Angeles. I realize this is for KCBS, and I mean no offense to you, Mr. Hill, but I believe the Bengals are going to beat the Rams.
You are outside of your ever-loving mind.
Bolts for life! Bolts on 2, baby! Yeah!
Jim.
This is Bolts country. I'm sorry.
Okay, Jim, please step in here, please. I can't believe. I can't believe.
I don't know what he's talking about, but let me put it to you this way. If things go the way that they're supposed to go, the Rams win the game, and Akbar, it may not even be close.
Yeah, I've already predicted it. You're absolutely right. Because, look, you know ball. You understand. You've seen this. The game is going to be 42-21. I don't think there's anything. And then we haven't even mentioned Aaron Donald, and Von Miller. Yeah, those two guys. I mean, it is unbelievable. I love Joe Burrow and everything he's done. Sure. But he is going to be harassed.
Okay, sure.
He is going to be harassed. I
understand that.
I don't think that they're going to be able to even get a playoff. Okay.
Well, we're a few short days away. We'll be coming back here on Monday, and I will be accepting apologies. From both you and Mr. Hill. Bolts on 2.
Okay.
I don't know what's wrong with you, buddy. There, I really don't.
He's running a little hot. He's running a little warm.
Yeah. Here's another thing, gentlemen, I'd like for both of you to talk about. And the Rams have talked about this up in the front office. Yeah. In order to be established in this city, because this is a sport capital of the world. In order to be established in this city at the upper echelon of sports teams, you got to win championships, like the Dodgers and like the Lakers. And until the Rams do that, they will not be up in that upper stratosphere of teams until they do.
Yeah, well, this city is only attracted to winning. I'm just sorry. I mean, I think why it's been in the past where they've said, hey, look, it's kind of hard to bring in a football franchise because how is the team going to react? There's so many different things to do in LA, right? I mean, you've got the beautiful scenery, you've got the beaches, you've got all these other competing interests. And so the one thing that will move a Los Angeles fan base is winning. And I think that's what the Rams have done. We've seen that they've got all the star power. They've got the coaching. They've got all of the things necessary. This W then secures them as the team of LA. We were just talking about, growing up here in LA. And, I mean the disrespect because I'm a Lakers fan, a diehard Lakers fan. But growing up, if you got perfect attendance in middle school, they gave you Clipper tickets. Because nobody wanted to go to the Clippers game.
All right, easy.
Right? I'm
Easy,
just saying.
easy.
I'm just
easy.
I'm-
Your words
I'm
are getting a little. We're getting mean now.
No, I'm not getting mean. I'm telling
Listen,
you,
we're supposed to when
this is my
we're supposed to
truth.
go high here.
This is my truth, and I'm saying this is what's going to happen for the
No
Rams.
disrespect to
They
Clippers
win the.
fans.
You said what? No,
No,
that was meant.
disrespect to
That was
Clippers
meant
fans.
disrespect.
No disrespect.
They were playing at the Sports Arena. Nobody wanted to go.
They play at the Crypto Center now. I almost said the S word. The Crypto.com Center.
Back then.
Let me just, let me word this a little nicer. The Lakers, and I'm a transplanted New Yorker, so I can't say I am a true Lakers fan. But the Lakers do set the bar here in Los Angeles, and it's a very high bar. And the Rams do have to win this game to meet the bar that the Lakers have set.
That's exactly right. So we're saying the same thing.
But I didn't disrespect the Clippers in there. Okay. Bolts on two.
You guys, what do you guys think of SoFi Stadium? Because to me, it's the best NFL stadium in the league.
Yeah, I've been to every single stadium in the National Football League. I've played in quite a few of them, and I have never seen anything like it. And it's interesting because my kids of a different generation, it's hard to get them to sit down and watch football with dad. And I've taken them to some other games. And they kind of, they want to be on their phones and all this other kind of stuff. But when I took them to SoFi Stadium, they were in awe. They had never seen anything like it. They were just like drawn in. Dad, can we come back again? I was like, wait, what? You want to watch football with Dad? That's the that's the power of having a venue like SoFi Stadium. I mean, for the casual fan, for the intense fan, for the people who know football, SoFi Stadium meets everyone where they are.
It really is. It's a magical experience. They do this thing now with stadiums where they build them down. So when you walk, it used to be stadiums, you'd have to walk up, all the way up, and then you look down at a stadium. Now you walk in and it unfolds in front of you. The parking, a little bit of an issue. I love you, SoFi Stadium. Getting in there is a little tricky. We're going to figure out those kinks. We're going to work them out.
What does this game mean to this particular area as far as the communities are concerned? Because there are a lot of dollars that are coming into the Los Angeles area, and the National Football League always does a fabulous job of getting dollars into the community.
I'm absolutely a big fan of it. I grew up just down the street from Inglewood. I grew up in South Central Los Angeles in the Crenshaw district, a stone throw away, Inglewood. And when you talk about $250 million plus being, infused and injected into the community, that's a big deal, especially in the middle of a pandemic. There's so many people, especially local businesses, that are going to be benefiting from the fact that the Super Bowl is here, not to mention that you have an LA team. So there's a heavy interest in Los Angeles and the Los Angeles Rams winning. So I can tell you, I've got boys who have shops in the neighborhood, from barbershops to, clothing stores, and they are already seeing a lot of that traffic, the foot traffic coming through. So it's been pretty good, especially too for the restaurants as well.
It's just awesome for Inglewood. If I could, I'm a huge. I loved going to Hollywood Park all those years, and it's amazing what they've done with that area. It really is, and I'm so glad to see that the Forum, the majestic, amazing landmark Forum, is still there, lit up, proud. They're not knocking it down.
Yeah.
I did go there for a concert. It was great, but it's just so. As an LA sports fan, when you see the Forum is still there and operating, you feel safe.
Yeah.
It's like seeing a church. You just feel like everything's going to be okay.
Because
I'm getting chills.
Yeah, you know why you're getting chills? Yeah, you are getting chills.
I am, I swear to you.
You're getting chills because the Lakers played there at the Forum, right? And there's greatness that is attached to it. And I think there's going to be a lot of greatness with the high power offense and team that the Chargers have, and what the Rams are going to be able to do inside of SoFi Stadium. I think SoFi has that same impact on the younger generation.
Bengals D.
Do you two have
they only rush 3 and then they drop back 5, and it makes it harder for Matthew Stafford, especially in the second half. I'm just saying.
Do you two have a bet between the two of you about the game?
Oh, we made a bet on our show, The Talk, CBS, on at 2 p.m. East Coast time, 1 p.m.
Jim, do you have to
West
go to
Coast
commercial
time.
right now? Do we have to go to commercial?
Well, we've been in commercial for a long
We had a
time.
bet.
Anyway,
I said I thought that the Bengals would beat the Chiefs, and Akbar called me, much like he did on your show right now, Mr. Hill. He called me insane and made fun of me and said I had a childlike brain. And I said, let's make a bet. And the bet is we have to dress up in cheer outfits of the team that we said would lose. And let's just say Monday morning, Akbar was in a Bengals cheer gear.
Okay, so this will not happen again. I can tell you this. Look, I lost that bet. All right. So I admit I was wrong. The Chiefs should have won that game. And essentially they did win that game. There was some cheating going on, but we won't get into all of that. The Bengals, I'm just saying whatever I need to say to justify why I lost. The Bengals will not win the Super Bowl. I can put that on everything I love. They will not win this one. I was wrong.
You know what? Why don't we make another? Well, you know what? Watch the Talk CBS, and I have a feeling that Akbar will be wearing a very revealing cheer outfit with Bengals gear. We're going to be making his Bengals shirt a crop top, Mr. Hill.
No.
You remember crop tops? Come on, they're back in the.
Oh, no, don't get me into that bet now. No, don't get me into what you guys are betting about. Hey, listen, guys. Thank you. I can't thank you enough for doing this for us, and continued success in what you're doing. And here's the other thing. One of the great things about the shows that you two do is you make us all think. And that's what we need to do more of. We need to think. We need to analyze, because we've gone through a whole heck of a lot over the last year and a half with this pandemic. And now that we may be starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, we need to think a little bit more. And because of you making us think, I want to thank you.
Thank you so much.
Love you, Mr. Hill. Always an honor.
Thank you.
Legend. Thank you so much.
As we keep it rolling here on our big game roundtable, Super Bowl 56 at SoFi Stadium this Sunday. Got a pair of guests to get you ready for Rams Bengals. Sarina Morales, a former Rams reporter. She was with the team for 3 years, now with Bally Sports, joins us on the roundtable. And Daniel Popper of The Athletic. Now, Popper, normally a Chargers beat writer. He's on the Rams beat this week for The Athletic and had a really, really good piece this week on football in Los Angeles, the state of football in LA as we get to Sunday. Sarina and Popper, thank you so much for joining us.
We're in the madhouse. Daniel, I know that you probably aren't in this craze right now. You're in the media room. But we both just apologize for the internet in advance.
Yeah, I was.
Let's give our
I was
folks a
walking.
I'm saying we had some Wi-Fi issues over at Radio Row with Serena, and Popper's trying to get through a maze to even get to the round table. So I'm very appreciative that you made it.
Yeah, it seems like Serena actually found a place to sit down. I was walking through over there earlier and couldn't find anywhere. So now I'm currently in the media room, and people are going to be looking at me while I do this TV hit. So it'll be fun.
Feel free to bring in anybody you'd like. Serena, I want to start with you, and I want to go back to 2018. I dug up a picture of you and me at SoFi Stadium. I think it was September 2018. BJ, do you have that picture? Look at us.
Oh my God.
Look at us.
Wow.
We're at the 50-yard line of SoFi Stadium. I got my Bolts construction hat on. You got the horns on.
Wow.
You fast forward 3.5 years, Serena. What do you think about all of this, knowing that you were embedded with the team? You were there for, I believe, their first Super Bowl appearance in LA. And here they are again with the chance to bring a Lombardi to the city.
What the fact that, you really got to credit the Rams front office, obviously Kroenke, Les Snead, like knowing how Les operates their GM and knowing all the work when we took that photo 3 years ago. I mean, that stadium, I was like, where are they? I can't even envision the toilets, the food, the seats, like the fancy lounges that they have now, and they're celebrities, and like, I mean, people are packing SoFi Stadium. Daniel, covering the Chargers as well all season long. I mean, it is an amazing stadium, and it's pretty exciting to have people not just talk about the Lakers and Dodgers and Clippers all the time, even the Angels. Football's here and people are starting to really care about it. But obviously, to get the attention, you got to be good. And the fact that, going back to Les Snead, I mean, the fact that Robert Woods went down in the same day, pretty much, they bring in Odell Beckham Jr. They trade away 2 linebackers, Micah Kaiser and Kenny Young, and they pick up Von Miller. And there were questions around both of these 2 guys. What can they do? What can they add? And here we are now, Super Bowl 56. Von Miller is someone who has even influenced Aaron Donald. You never thought that this guy could even improve his game anymore. Now Aaron Donald is more of a vocal leader than ever because of a guy like Von Miller, who they put in place. Cooper Kupp is clearly doing his thing and unaffected by the fact that a guy like Odell Beckham Jr. comes in. And there were questions around how he was going to mesh in this locker room, especially with questions on how things worked out with him in Cleveland. So to go back to that photo and think of all the changes, all the pieces that were put in place, both physically speaking in a stadium and the players they put in place for the Rams to get here, I mean, is indescribable.
There's no question about it. And Popper, obviously, it's the home of the Rams and Chargers. You are on the Rams beat this week, along with Jordan Rodriguez, who does great work for The Athletic as well. What's the pulse of the Rams this week as they get set for this huge game with the chance to bring Lombardi to the city?
Yeah, it's really interesting. They're really just trying to treat it like a normal week. And I know that's cliche, but it makes it a lot easier when you get to practice at your own facility in Thousand Oaks. Obviously, they moved down to the Rose Bowl today, Thursday, just because of the winds in Thousand Oaks, but they've been able to practice at home, stay in their own houses. They're not staying in a team hotel until Saturday night. So they've really been trying to treat it, as a normal week. And the one thing that's really jumped out to me this week is just how many of these veterans are looking for their first ring. I mean, Andrew Whitworth, Eric Weddle, Matthew Stafford. It's all of these guys that have been in the league for forever that are all looking for that ring. And it really jumps out just how that feeds into the hunger of the team. And the guys that are younger are all playing, right, for these guys that are looking for the ring, whether it's the offensive linemen like Brian Allen and David Edwards that want to win the ring for Andrew Whitworth, whether it's Jalen Ramsey, who doesn't have a ring, obviously younger, but wants to win that ring for Eric Weddle, who obviously joined the team for the playoff run. All of these guys want to get a ring for Matthew Stafford. And I think that's really permeating through these players as we talk to them this week ahead of what is a massive game for all of these players on Sunday at SoFi.
Serena, I love a good storyline, especially in the Super Bowl. For the casual fan who maybe doesn't watch a ton of football, what are some fun storylines for the Rams and Bengals as we get closer to Sunday?
I mean, for obvious reasons, everyone loves the underdog story when it comes to Joe Burrow. This is his second year in the NFL, and all of a sudden he helps take this team to Super Bowl 56 and, working in tandem with his former teammate at LSU and now teammate of the Bengals, Jamar Chase. The run game has been remarkable with Joe Mixon, and how this offensive line, while has been questionable protecting Joe Burrow doesn't even seem to be affected at all in that situation. I've actually called this the Super Bowl of the 2 most loved teams, because while you do have the underdog story, are you not going to cheer for a 3rd-round draft pick who is breaking so many records like Cooper Kupp? Are you not going to cheer for, a guy like Aaron Donald, who has won pretty much every award that you could win at his position outside of a Super Bowl ring? Are you not going to cheer for a guy like Andrew Whitworth, who has, as Daniel mentioned, played both for the Bengals and now the Rams, and is literally, I think, waiting to just retire, but he's waiting for some extra jewelry on his hand? And how could you not cheer for Sean McVay, who in his very young amount of time as a head coach has gone to, now this will be his 2nd Super Bowl and coaching the team for 5 years. Incredible storylines for both these teams. To me, I'm sort of like, it's a toss-up. I can't imagine, if you're just a general fan, who could you choose for? You would just choose both teams to win. And I mean, maybe we'll get this insane Bills Chiefs-like game that we saw just a few weeks ago. But it's hard not to cheer for either of these 2 teams.
Guys, last thing, little fun prop sheet I have. I know you guys are going to be at the game. You're going to be covering the game. but a lot of folks, and Popper, I'm going to plug The Athletic because I got this from Brandon Funston, the Super Bowl 56 party prop sheet. All right.
Ooh.
Let's just
All
go
right.
through a few. We'll go rapid fire, and then you guys can download it on The Athletic if you're having a Super Bowl party. So Mickey Guyton is doing the national anthem. 1 minute 55 seconds. Over or under, Serena?
I would say under. It's the national anthem. It's a big game. People get nervous. I'm taking the under. I
Popper.
speed through those things.
I'm gonna take the under because I saw a TikTok earlier this week that Mickey Guyton is known for having very short national anthems. So got to trust TikTok, right? Why not? I don't.
Listen,
have anything
I
better
bring
to
you
base
on
it
for
on.
football knowledge. I bring you on for football knowledge. I get Mickey Guyton insight as well. I love it.
There
All
you
right,
go.
so
Gotta trust it.
Let's quickly stay with the Mickey Guyton theme. What's the outfit going to be? White or yellow, blue, black, gray, silver, red, pink, purple, green, orange? Serena, pick a color.
I would go bright pink. You want to pop. You don't want to choose a color for if you're cheering for either team. Obviously, the host team is technically the Bengals, but obviously she's going to be in SoFi Stadium. So I just think take an off color like bright pink. So it's like, hey, this is my time to shine for like under $130 or $150.
Popper.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah.
Sorry, you guys cut out.
Color.
Good to go. Oh, pick a color. All right. I'm gonna go silver.
Ooh.
Sticking in line with that, right? Don't want to go orange. Don't want to go blue. Don't want to go yellow. Don't want to go black because that will tie in with the team. Silver's gonna pop. Sticks with the color of SoFi Stadium, right? SoFi has all the silver everywhere. Get something sparkly on, make it shine. Love that. Go with it.
I love the depth that we're getting into with this. All right, just a few more because I think folks can download. I have 23 of them. We're not getting through 23 of them. The quarterback who will be shown on camera first during the anthem, Matthew Stafford or Joe Burrow?
I'm going I'm going Matthew Stafford because he's older. Everyone is sort of like, is this guy gonna get something? And then they'll go to Joe. They'll show him many times. Maybe if it was like, who's gonna be shown more times, it might be Joe Burrow, just because like everyone loves him. But I would say first, I think it's Matthew Stafford. What do you think?
I'm gonna
Popper?
go. Yeah, I'm gonna go Joe Burrow just because he's got the swag. He's got the mox. He's got the moxie, and a lot of people are tuning in because he's a really, really exciting player. I think a lot of young fans, really relate to him and his energy and what he's done for the city of Cincinnati. So I know that's like a lot of information, probably not that deep, but I'm gonna go with Joe Burrow.
And he's unflappable. You want to see the guy who's unflappable first. All right, let's get you out of here on a prediction. Serena, prediction for Super Bowl 56.
I've been waiting to figure out my answer, so I'm going to give you an answer that's coming to me right now. I see the under, by the way. I think that's 48.5. I think this game is going to go under. I see it like a 23, 24, 21 game. I think the Rams get the win, but I do think it's going to be close. Just the way that I've seen Joe Burrow handle being sacked, handle being pressured. He hasn't faced Aaron Donald. He hasn't faced Von Miller. He hasn't faced Leonard Floyd. He doesn't understand what Jalen Ramsey can do in the backfield. But I do think the Rams get this win. But I want to say they're going to cover in that 4-point spread. It's going to be awkwardly close for some reason. So I'm going to say like 24-20 or something in that range.
The Bengals have always hung tough throughout the playoffs as they close the year. Popper, we were there in Cincinnati in December when they played the Chargers. Chargers were up 24-0. Just like that, they got back in the game. It was 24-22 before the Chargers pulled away. Who do you got on Sunday?
I got the Rams 28-24. Like you said, a little higher scoring. Yeah, I just you feel like there's going to be a big play from the Bengals in this game. You feel like despite Jalen Ramsey being out there, that Burrow and Chase are going to connect on some big play. And then the Rams offense is what it is. And, you know, Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford are. So I'm expecting some points to be scored. But I just feel like, you know, I think Burrow's going to keep him in the game. But I just feel like the Bengals offensive line is such a weakness. And going up against Aaron Donald and Von Miller, that the Rams and Raheem Morris are going to find a way to get pressure on Burrow. And I think that's going to be the difference in the game. So I got Rams 28-24.